Hello and welcome to Thursday's edition of Cracking the Cryptic, where I'm so late recording this today. The day has totally got away from me. It's now gone 5:30. I would normally try and record at the latest sort of early afternoon in case I have trouble. I'm relying on Belamis here to have produced a puzzle I can solve. This one's called Regional Constraint Rally. And I think it's a sequel to a wonderful puzzle I did by Belamis about a month ago, which was Fog of War. But the idea of these sort of regional constraint puzzles is that you can't repeat a digit on a constraint. So like if we look at the black dots, they all have to contain different digits because they're all the same type of constraint. And the first puzzle was fantastic, and there was a follow-up puzzle which was by someone else, which I've now was it Visumation who did one? I can't remember, but there was a follow-up that was great, and this is Belamis's follow-up, and I'm going to have a go at it in a moment or two's time. I was planning actually today on having a go at the Pedaling Pianist's Sudoku hunt. There's a Sudoku hunt by the Pedaling Pianist, which apparently is doable in one video. But I've been warned it might be a long video, so today is not the day when I can risk doing that, I'm afraid. But maybe tomorrow. We'll see how we get on. Although tomorrow is crossword day as well, isn't it? So it's going to be a busy day for me. Anyway, calm down, Simon. Calm down. People come to the channel for logic and relaxation, not for you whittering on. Let's talk about other things that are going on. If you enjoy listening to me whittering on, you'll have another opportunity today, because later on at 10 p.m. UK time, Mark and I are going to be streaming again. We are going to be having a go at Blueprints. Here it is. This fabulous game where we get to sort of explore a mansion. Look, the size of my screen has changed again. Why does this happen? I don't know. We're going to be having a go at this game. We'd love to have your company if you're around. It's a really good game. I'm not promising that Mark and I's play of the game is really good, but we will do our best. That I can guarantee. So I'll try and remember to put a link on the screen in case you might be interested. Other than that, what else? Let me look at my other list of things. Over on Patreon, there's only 5 days left actually to enter this month's competition, and because my machine's reset, I don't have the league table. But something like 2,000 of our patrons have already solved at least one puzzle from that pack, so it's definitely worth having a go. It's a tremendous series of puzzles by blobs called Oil and Water. There is still time, even if you haven't even started it yet. You could probably get it done. You could get it done in a few hours, but you could definitely get it done in 2 days with only modest application. So I commend it to you if you've not had a go yet. And other than that, what else have I got to talk about? Birthdays. Let's do birthdays. I've got a whole series of sort of birthday-ish related things. Gitta in Belgium, you've turned 25 today, and I know this because your partner, is it Elian? Could be Elian. It could be, I don't know actually. It's not a name I'm familiar with, and I'm going to mess it up and I'll feel dreadful. I think perhaps Elian might be how you pronounce it, but I could have made an app, so hopefully you will know. If you're Gitta in Belgium and you've turned 25 today, whoever your partner is, consider whether or not I could have just said their name. Anyway, Gitta, I hope you have a brilliant birthday today with, of course, a large slice of chocolate cake. Now, somebody whose birthday it was actually yesterday, but I only got the request yesterday afternoon, so I couldn't do anything about it. Dylan, your dad Nick wrote to us and told us that you've solved all the rat run puzzles and were planning on enjoying chocolate cake yesterday. So Dylan, I hope you did have a great birthday. Let's keep our fingers crossed that Marty Sears produces some new rat run puzzles soon. I think they may be in the offing. Next, we'll go to Turkey, and this isn't a birthday. This is just a message I had from, I'm going to say Ida. I hope I'm saying that correctly. Could be wrong. To boyfriend Ada. Ada, who is the best thing in her life. And what tickled me about Ida's message is she said she was 17, but she feels she'd be happier as an old lady. And Ada, she's hoping that you could therefore be her old lord. But I can tell you, Ida, that ever since I was about 12, I felt that I was in the wrong body or something. I've always liked music from, 60s and 70s music is my favourite. And many people have said I'm old before my time. Oh dear. Anyway, Ada, I hope you enjoyed Ida's message. Next. Yeah, I think this is a birthday today. Russ, you've turned a secret age. And rather amusingly, told me that people born in the 1980s are the best people because they get to turn a secret age in the year that it's the secret age squared, if you know what I mean. We have a t-shirt about that. So Russ, I hope you have a brilliant birthday. I happen to know, look, this is an outrage. Russ is a board game player, isn't he? I think that's right. But this is nothing to do with board games. But look, this is the chocolate cake that Russ's sons made for him for his birthday. His birthday is today. You will notice that this birthday cake seems to be being eaten already. It was created yesterday, apparently, and Russ decided that yesterday it was early enough. It was near enough to his birthday that he could begin eating it. Now, what I will say about this fantastic-looking cake is that is about the right ratio of icing to cake. That does look properly delicious, doesn't it? And Russ, I have to say, that is, I think, one of the best cakes we've ever got to feature. Goodness me, that looks tremendous. Anyway, Russ, I hope you have a great birthday today. And then finally, well, this is a lovely one. Jonathan, who is one of our viewers, and has been a viewer for a long time, I think. Jonathan became an uncle today when his sister gave birth to Henry. Many congratulations. He's excited about that. So are we. And Jonathan, thank you very much for agreeing to indoctrinate Henry into the world of puzzles. It sounds like we could have a new follower of variant Sudoku in the coming years. Jonathan, congratulations, and obviously to your sister too, and welcome to the world to young Henry. And that's all the news. Let's have a look at Regional Constraint Rally by Belamis. The rules are as follows. We've got normal Sudoku rules applies. We've got to put the digits 1 to 9 once each in every row, every column, and every 3 by 3 box. Digits in cells separated by a black dot have a 1 to 2 ratio, and that means one of the digits will be double the other. Now, I better not put this in case it goes wrong, but imagine that was a 2. Because if this is correct, it might clear fog, and I haven't earned that fog clearance, so I don't want to clear the fog by mistake. So if this was a 2, this digit's either 4, because 4 is double 2, or it's 1, because 2 is double 1. So that's how black dots work. Killer. Okay, digits do not repeat in cages and sum to the small clue in the top left corner if given. So there's a cage here, you can see. We don't know where it goes, but that is some sort of cage. Thermo. Oh dear, we haven't got any thermos in view. I can try and draw a thermo. Let me go to the thermo. Might look something like that in the grid. Digits along a thermometer must increase from the bulb to the tip. So if this square here was a 2, this just has to be higher than 2. It doesn't have to be 3. You can miss digits out. So 2, 4, 7 would be a legitimate way to construct a thermo. Dutch whispers along orange lines. Oh, I can do those. Yes, I can. Yeah. So let's imagine this is a Dutch whisper line. Digits must differ from their neighbours by at least 4. So if this was a 1, this would have to be at least 5 in order to be sufficiently different from the 1 that we put at the start of the line. German whispers, that's probably that one. Along green lines, digits must differ from their neighbours by at least 5. So if this was a 1, this digit would have to be at least 6 in order to be sufficiently different from 1. Parity. We have got lots of lines, although we can't see any of them. Along a red line, adjacent digits must alternate between odd and even. Okay, so let's draw a red line in. So if that was a red line and this was a 2, 2 is even, so this would have to be odd. There's still more rules actually. Constraint regions. Each constraint type may contain no repeated digits anywhere in the puzzle. E.g., if one Thermo contains a 5, then no other Thermo may contain a 5, etc. Fog of War. The grid is partially covered in fog. Correctly placing digits will clear the fog around that cell. No guessing is required. That's the crucial thing. So these puzzles are designed to have a logical path. They don't require guessing, so there is no need to guess. You'll ruin the experience if you do guess. Do have a go. The way to play is to click the link under the video as usual. But now, I get to play. Let's get cracking. Now the only thing I'm seeing immediately here is that these, I do know the sort of population, if you like, of these black dot dominoes. And that is because there are 6 cells there in those positions. And there are only 6 Sudoku digits you can ever put on a black dot. So consider the digits 5, 7 and 9. And remember that on a black dot, one digit has to be double the other. If we put 5, 7 or 9 on, and we think about a digit that would be half of those values, well, they're not integers. 2.5, 3.5 and 4.5 are not Sudoku digits. And if we double 5, 7 or 9, we get to double digit numbers, and they aren't Sudoku digits. So we can't populate these orange squares with 5s, 7s or 9s. So they are 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 8. Yeah, okay. This is similar. This is actually similar. I think the first one of these puzzles had a similar type beginning. I can't quite remember what that beginning was, but I remember there were lots of things pointing at a cell, and it seems to me that lots of things are pointing at this cell. What do I mean by that? Well, if we know, and we do, that the orange cells as a collective are the digits 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 and 8. Could we put any of those digits into this cell? No. I mean, imagine we did fill this cell with a 4, for example. Which of these black dots would then have a 4 on it? None of them could. This 4C is all orange squares. So what that means is that this digit has to be 5, 7 or 9. But now we get to think about some German whispers tricks, don't we? Because we can never put 5 on a green line, and that's because we know the adjacent digits along a green line have to be at least 5 different from 5. So if we put 5 on the green line and we go upwards, we get to 10 or higher. If we go downwards, we get to 0 or lower. They don't work. And that's rather cool, because now this digit is high. And when I say high, I mean higher than 5. And one thing that we've learned over the years about German whispers lines is that they oscillate polarity. So if you have one digit on the line like this one that's higher than 5, this digit must be lower than 5. Because if it was higher than 5, let's say it was 6, 7, 8 or 9, how could these two digits be 5 apart? They simply couldn't be. Even if they were 6 and 9, they'd only be 3 apart. So this digit has to be low. And this digit has to be low. Now, why does that cause a restriction? If this was 7, these would have to be 1 and 2. Yeah, that's it. Good grief. That's actually really clever. That's really clever. This is a 9, I think. If this was a 7, let's look at this. If this was 7, and this was therefore a 1-2 pair, because we need digits that are sufficiently different from 7, and the only digits that qualify are 1 and 2, then we have a problem. But to understand the problem, I think what we're going to have to do is to note that these black dot dominoes are going to be populated in a particular way. Because we know these are the digits 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 and 8, The 8, let's say this was 8, that's always going to be next to 4. The 6, let's say this was 6, is always going to be next to 3, and therefore the 1 and the 2 are going to be a pair within one of these. So we're not going to have a 2-4 pair anywhere, because in order to populate or to make sure all of these digits are different, they will have to be a 1-2 pair, a 3-6 pair, and a 4-8 pair. Now, knowing that, if this was a 7 and these were 1s and 2s, which orange domino are we going to make the 1-2 pair? And the answer is no orange domino. That simply will not work. So I think that has to be a 9, and that's great. Okay, so 9 is correct. And we've got a 12 cage here, which it's going at least to here. Now, are we allowed to assume it doesn't go to there? And sort of convention. Let me just check the rules here. Yeah, it does say in the top left corner. So, yeah, I mean, by convention, it would be quite unlikely for this 12 cage to go up here, because then the cage furniture, if you like, would have had the 12 in this cell. But maybe I shouldn't assume that. It definitely goes to those 3. Let me just think about this for a second. If it did go up there as well, then the 12 cage would either be 1, 2, 3, 6, which would be impossible, because both of these would be a 4, or it would be 1, 2, 4, 5, and that's impossible because both of these would be a 3. Okay, so the 12 cage does just stay here. It's those 3 digits. Now, okay, so this orange dot, which has lost part of its orangification, this orange dot is definitely not 1, 2. Because if it was 1, 2, these would be 3 and 4, and this 12 cage would be filled with at least 5, 6, 7, which add to 18. So that's not going to work, is it? So this is either 3, 6 or 4, 8, and it's definitely going to take... Yeah, that's it. Right, lovely. This is lovely. Right, this black dot has 1 low digit on it, and by low digit I mean a digit from the population 1, 2, 3 and 4. It's actually got a 3 or a 4 on it. But that means that the number of digits that this 12 cage has in it that are from the population 1, 2, 3 and 4 is exactly 1, because these 2 digits are definitely from the 1, 2, 3, 4 population. One of those 2 digits is from the 1, 2, 3, 4 population, so there is 1 available for this. Which means if we take the other 2 digits to be as low as they possibly could be, they would be 5 and 6. And therefore the low digit must be a 1. This must be 1, 5, 6. It's the only way you can make it work. Oh, I see. Yeah, okay, so 6 is in the 12 cage, so this is 4, 8. So these are 2, 3, and this digit is 7. Now let's hope that clears fog. It did. Right. And now the other orange cages are 1, 2, and 3, 6 in some order. And we've got another green line here. So remember, on green lines we can't repeat digits. So this must have a low digit on it, because it's going to oscillate polarity. Oh, I see. This is really good as well. So imagine this. So the low digit that's on this line, it's either 1 or it's 4, but it can't be 4. Because if it's 4, the digit that will be next to it, 4 is sort of monogamous along a green line. It only marries 9. That's the only thing it's allowed to do, because it's the only digit that's 5 away. So if we did put 4 in here, although we wouldn't have repeated a 4, we would create a second 9 on the green dots. So this is 1, And then 6, 7 or 8 for the other digits. That can't be 8. Oh, I see. But if this is 1, this one is not 1, 2. So this one is 1, 2. Which means, aha, that's 2, that's 3. Here we go. And that is not an announcement of a transfer. From what's that guy who always announces the transfers with "here we go"? Romano or something. Federico Romano. No, we're not announcing transfers. Although if Florian Wirtz was to come to Liverpool, I would announce it on the channel. Now, okay, so there's no 6 on this. There's no 7 here. And we know one of these is a 1. So we've either got 1, 7 in that order or 1, 8 in the other order. And this is the terrifying moment where I don't see what to do next. Fog of War, I always think it's really clever in Fog of War puzzles. You know, because it's not, I mean, it's not like we can look at the grey squares. There's no point looking at them. Oh, I see. No, this is much. This is very simple, actually. Okay, cages cannot contain a repeated digit. I've just put 1, 5, 6 in there, so that can't be a 1. So that's got to be a 2, and hopefully that will clear a lot of fog. Yes, it did. So we've now got an orange line here, which is presumably going to be important for some reason. We've also got to populate these 2 digits without using 5 or 6 or 7. So those digits are 3, 4, 8, 9. Yeah, okay, so by Sudoku, those digits are 5, 6, aren't they? And this digit is now orange. It's a 5, 6, and it's orange. If this is a 5, 5 is orange lines are weird. I actually find them quite difficult. I think it's because I've got so used to green lines. But orange lines, they do have the property that they have to oscillate polarity around a 5, except where the 5 itself is on a line, because 5 can go on an orange line. And if you do put a 5 on it, it can be next to 1 or 9. And that affords the opportunity for an orange line to change polarity. Yeah, oh, actually, no, this is easier. This is easier. Sorry, this just can't be 6, can it? If this was 6, this digit would have to be 1 or 2 in order to be 4 different from 6. You can't go up from 6 because you get to 10. So that is 5. Right, sorry. So that's 5. That's 6. There's another cage that's just appeared. This digit is 1 or 9 and is 9 by Sudoku. Aha. And then for this digit is 5 or less and is 3 or 4. And the digit in the corner, which we won't be allowed to sing about, is a 7. And presumably I now... Oh, nearly. Yeah, these 3 digits, this cage cannot be more than 3 digits, this cage here. Because we've got 3 digits in a cage there, 3 digits in a cage here, and at least 3 here, but there aren't more than 9 Sudoku digits. So what does that mean? Oh, it means I can do more Sudoku. Yeah, look in this box. The 8 is in these squares. So that's 8. That's 4. That's 4. This is 3, 8. These squares are 4, 4, 7, 9. Is that right? If that's right, I can place the 9, but let's just double check. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 8. Yeah, 4, 7, 9, and the 9 is here. So this must be 9. I do have to say, I think this constraint, it's really, really good. This way that you can't repeat digits within a constraint in the puzzle. Every one of the puzzles I've done with this rule set I've really enjoyed, and they haven't been monstrously difficult. We've got another orange line now which goes at least to here. Let's paint it in. It goes at least there. It might go further, but it goes at least there. Now, I suspect, well, actually do I? It might, I don't know actually, maybe it is this line. I was going to say it might be Sudoku, or maybe somehow we've got a way of doing that line. I don't know though, I can't see anything other than this line, which is a bit surprising. Okay, let's work out from a Sudoku perspective, what can we put on there? We can put 2 and 3, definitely. We can put 5. We can put 6, I think. And we can put 8. Ah, I see, but we can't put 5. Right, that's interesting. We can't put 5 on this orange line, or at least not in these positions, because it's the next cell, as we worked out on this one, would be a 1 or a 9. And this one sees those 3 squares, and that 9 sees those 3 squares. So there is no 5 in these 3 squares. So they are from 2, 3, 6, 8. Okay, and that makes a quadruple in the column. So these 3 digits at the top are 5, 4, 5, 9, I think. I don't actually think that's useful. We can't do anything. We don't know anything about Sudoku in the first 4 rows almost. But if this is 3 or 8, this line definitely has 2 and 6 on it, doesn't it? So, what does that mean? Well, that means that this digit is low. Because if we were to make this 6, what would these 2 digits be? They both have to be at least 4 different from 6 then. And we could put 2 in one of them, but the other one couldn't be the 1 and would need to be. So this digit is low. 6 is in, which means, okay, if this is low, these are both basically high. They've got to be a 6-8 pair. So we'll put that in. That's going to fix this digit as a 3. This is an 8. It's not clearing fog. Oh, that's a 2. Oh, the line has gone here. Okay, and what do we need into these squares? 1, 3, 5. That's slightly worrying, isn't it? Well, that's not 5. That's definitely true. That's not 5 either. Oh, I see. So we get the 5. We've got a 1-3 pair looking at this. So this becomes 6. That becomes 3. More stuff is being revealed. Okay. That doesn't seem to be resolved. Can I do anything extra here? Do I know that somehow? If that's 3, that can absolutely be 8. And if it's 1, that can be 6. I don't know. I'm not seeing how to do that. You might be hearing a little bit of trampoline war in the background. I'm sorry, I can't do much about that. Okay, so maybe it's this orange line, which is going at least to here. In fact, it's going exactly to there. It can't go further because we've already put 7. We've got 7 cells of orange line. So the digit, okay, so there is a 7. Oh, that's it. Right, there's got to be a 7 on the orange lines, and it's got to be here. So that's going to clear fog. Oh no, not really in a good way. And this digit has got to be 1, 2, or 3. Now we've had 2. Oh, and the 3 does it then. That's lovely. So this has to be a 1, which fixes this one as a 3, which fixes this one as a 1. We're getting other things revealed. This is now an 8. That's now a 6. Has that been there for ages? It probably has. This one, we've got the fact there's a 1 on there, so this is an 8. 1 has to be here in the 12 cage. And we've got, oh, well that can't, okay, alright. Look at this thermometer. I've got no idea where this thermometer is, and I know very few secrets about thermometers, but I do know one. And that is, if you do want to put a 9 on a thermometer, it must go in the very tip of the thermometer. Because if we put 9 here, this would be bigger than 9, and there are no such Sudoku digits. So I don't know where that thermometer goes, but I do know that's a 9. Oh, okay, well therefore, I now know the order of the 4 and the 5. So that's 4, that's 5. In fact, I probably knew that anyway if I'd thought about it. This digit is 6 or 7 only. And this column needs 1, 6 and 7 to be properly filled. So these digits are 2, 3 and 8. And that 7 sees this digit. So that's a 6. That's, oh, there's another thermometer. Can that really be 2? Well, only if that was a 1. And it can't be a 1 because I've got a 1 in one of those. So that is not a 2. And we have got another very short stumpy thermometer here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we've got at least 7 cells of thermos identified. 2, 3. Yeah, look at this digit by Sudoku. Well, not really by Sudoku, but it sees 1, 2 and 3. And 4, 5 and 6 have appeared on thermometers. Oh, and that sees 7 as well. So this is 8. Sorry, that's been available for ages. That's got to be 8. That's got to be 9. Now that must be 8. So that's 3. And that must be 2. And somehow this has to be filled in with the digits. Yeah, this is forced. It's a 1-7 pair, isn't it? I think. Oh, I see. And that's getting rid of what would otherwise have been a deadly pattern there. Let me just show you what I mean. Imagine this thermometer wasn't here. Then in the finished grid, I guess we'd have found that this is going to be a 1-7 pair. And there would have been nothing about the internal logic of the puzzle that would have told us whether the 7s go that way up or this way up. But putting this thermometer in, it does differentiate which way round the 7s go, and therefore allows the puzzle, or this element of the puzzle, to have a unique solution. Hang on, weren't there meant to be other lines in this? There's meant to be a parity line somewhere, so that's got to be down here somewhere, I think. I don't think you can have a parity line that means anything, that just lives in a corner. Yeah, the only thing we haven't seen is a parity line, so we need to be on the lookout for that. What about this column then? 4, 5, 7. Oh, where's the 7? Yeah, that's easy enough, isn't it? So that's 7, that's 5, that's 4. This box needs 2, 3, 6, 9. So this is a 2, 9 pair. I was going to say which is resolved, but I don't know if it is. This is a 3, 6. The 3, 6 pair is resolved, and look. That's 3 in the corner, that's 3 in the spotlight, losing its religion. That's 6, that's 5 now. So this box needs 2, 4, 5, 9. So this is 2, 5, which is resolved. So all of that gets resolved. That 4 does the 4 and the 7. And we're just going to be left with all these central columns. Which is actually, so, okay, one thing we can deduce from this, because there's nothing to see under here, is that something, this 719 must differentiate something. So what I'm doing is I'm scanning across these rows. This one does look quite good, actually, because 1 and 9 haven't, yeah, this is where we look. 1 and 9 haven't appeared in these cells. So that means that this digit must be, there's going to be 6 different digits here, 1 and 9. So this must be a naked single, and it must be 5 by singles logic. Okay, and there's, so the parity line goes downwards there. Okay, and this is a 1-9 pair, and that's very useful in terms of parity, because that is odd, indisputably. So this is even, and it's 4 or 6. So this is odd. And, oh, that's 3. It sees 1, 5, 7, 9. So this is a 3, I think. Okay, which means that's a 3, which means this is a something, a 2, I believe. These squares are somethings, 4, 5, 6, 8. So this is a 4, 8 pair. That's 5, 6. What about this row, do you think? 8. Sorry about the noise outside. It's getting more and more vociferous. That's a 2, 8 pair. 4, 6, 7. Right, where's 7 in this box? I think it's got to be there. Okay, so how is this getting resolved now? Well, we want lots of even digits, don't we, in the rows? Maybe this row, this digit might be under a bit of pressure. 2, 3, 5. So it's 2 or 3. Actually, it's not resolved. Sorry. That digit might be resolved. Actually, I'm not sure. I should do this in a more diligent way rather than sort of just... Yeah, this is a 4. This is a naked single. So that's a 4. That's a 6. This digit is a naked single 8. And that's probably going to finish the puzzle, I think. Yeah, that's really doing work. Maybe not quite. 7, 9 here, but that's resolved. 9, 1 here. 1, 2, 5, 6. So this is 2, 5, which is resolved. And that might be the puzzle done. Let's see, is it correct? Yes. Very, very nice is what I would like to say. Look how many people have solved it. That's how popular Belamis's Fog of War puzzles are. That's just lovely, isn't it? It's a great introduction. If you have friends who you've been nervous about, recommending cracking the cryptic to because you think our puzzles, they require, a little bit of arcane knowledge, send them that, because that's just wonderful. It's just wonderful. There cannot be anybody who wouldn't enjoy that, in my opinion. No one with any taste, anyway. Let me know in the comments how you got on. I enjoy the comments, especially when they're kind. And we'll be back later with another edition of Cracking the Cryptic.